Everybody, so today we are going to study about one electron atoms and vector atom model. So let us talk about what is one electron atom. So one electron atoms are hydrogen like atoms. Like hydrogen mein what we have? 1H1. So number of protons is 1. So number of electron, it is also 1. It has 1 electron. So one electron atoms are hydrogen like atoms in which the total angular momentum is provided by a single electron. What does this mean? We know that when we discussed orbital angular momentum, that time we have discussed that only the electrons which are unpaired, they only contribute to the total angular momentum of the atom. Now, when we are talking about one electron atoms, these are specifically the atoms which have one unpaired electron. So that one unpaired electron will contribute to the total angular momentum. Okay. Now, it could be a neutral atom or ionized atom like helium, magnesium, aluminium, etc. Now, in such an atom, the orbital angular momentum is given by, we have already studied this formula, that it is given by L is equals to under root of L into L plus 1 into H cross. Now, what is small l here? This small l, it is called as orbital quantum number. Now, component of angular momentum vector L along z direction, it is given by Lz, it is equals to mlh cross. And we know that vector L is quantized, and along with that vector Lz, that is component of L along z direction, that is also quantized. This formula also we have seen in the earlier lecture. What is this ml? This ml is called as orbital magnetic quantum number. Now, similarly, as we have described it for angular momentum, orbital angular momentum, we can use the analogy for spin angular momentum. So similarly, suppose vector S, it is a spin angular momentum. We are taking magnitude of a spin angular momentum. It will be given by S is equals to under root of S into S plus 1 into H cross. What is S? S is spin, which is equals to half. And SZ, Lz was mlh cross. Here Sz we will write as msh cross. What is ms? Ms is the spin magnetic quantum number, and it has values plus half, minus half, because ms is given by minus s to s. So it will be plus half and minus half. Total angular momentum J, we know that it is the sum of orbital angular momentum and spin angular momentum. And we can define magnitude of J as under root of J into J plus 1 H cross. Now, what is this J? J is the total angular momentum quantum number for a single electron. So, what is small l, what is small s, what is small j? All this you should know. So, here I can define Jz as mjh cross. So we have Lz equals to mlh cross, Sz is equals to msh cross. Similarly, Jz is equals to mjh cross. Now this mj can take values from plus j to minus j. Ml can take values from plus l to minus l. Ms can take values from plus s to minus s, that way. So it's just analogy. Now here the very important question is what values are allowed to j, which values j can take. Now, vector L, vector S and vector J are vectors. But when we talk about Lz, Sz, Jz, they are scalar quantities. So, Lz and Sz can be algebraically added to give Jz, because we know that vector J, it is the sum of vector L and vector S. We cannot add vectors like algebraically. But as we are talking about Lz and Sz, they are scalar quantities. We can add this Lz and Sz algebraically to give Jz. But Lz and Sz, they can be parallel or they can be anti-parallel, and that is why when we write algebraically, we have to write it as Jz is equals to Lz plus minus Sz. Why plus minus? Because they can be either parallel or they can be anti-parallel. That is how we have this form. Now, Jz is mjh cross, Lz is mlh cross, Sz is msh cross. So H cross will cancel from all the three sides, and I can write mj, it is equals to ml plus minus ms. Now since ms can take up only two values, minuses to pluses, that is plus minus half, as value of s it is fixed, it is half. that is ml is always integral, and therefore mj is always half integral because ms क्या है, half integral, ml is integral, तो दोनों का sum half integral और integral का sum will be half integral. That is how mj is always half integral. Since mj is half integral, j is also half integral. Now again we will find out the allowed values of j. So let us consider, we will find out it by using a certain case. So let us consider the case when we have L is equals to 1. If L is equals to 1, we know that ML can take values from minus to plus L. So minus 1, 0 and 1. These are the three values. So MS, it is equals to half and minus half. So MJ, we know that ML plus minus MS. So if I add ML and MS and if I subtract ML and MS, I will get these values, these 6 values. Because 1 plus half, 3 by 2. 1 minus half, half. 0 minus half, minus half. 0 plus half, half. Minus that way. So if you will calculate, you will get 3 by 2, half, minus 1 by 2, 1 by 2, minus 1 by 2, minus 3 by 2. So, if I club these values, 3 by 2, 1 by 2, minus 1 by 2, minus 3 by 2, these are the mj values corresponding to j equals to 3 by 2. And if I take these two values, mj equals to half and minus half, these are the values for j equals to half. Right? So, hence for L is equals to 1, j can take two values. J equals to half, j equals to 3 by 2. That is L plus S, L minus S. So, similarly, we can show this because L is here 1. S is 1 by 2. 1 plus 1 by 2, 3 by 2. L is 1, S is half. 1 minus half, that is 1 by 2. So, J is taking two values, L plus S and L minus S. Now, here we have taken L is equals to 1. We can show this by taking L is equals to 2, L is equals to 3 and so on. So, in general, what we can write is, for any given L, J can take up two values, which is given by J equals to L plus S, J is equals to L minus S. So, for any L, J value, it is given by this formula. It can take two values, L plus S, L minus S. Now, there is only one exception except for L is equals to 0. Because when L is equals to 0, you will have J is equals to S is equals to half. Okay, so in that case, when L is equals to 0, J value, it will be entirely decided by S only and it will be half. Except for L is equals to 0, for all other states, L is equals to 1, 2, 3 and so on, J has two values, L plus S and L minus S. Now we will study vector diagram for J. Okay. So what we have is, we have two permitted values of J. So what does this two values of J imply? That in one electron systems, there are only two ways in which vector L and vector S can combine to form vector J. We have only two values of J, right? And that is L plus S and L minus S. The meaning is, there are only two ways in which vector L and vector S can combine to form vector J. And once you define vector J, total angular momentum vector J, then vector L and vector S, they will lose their significance as independent angular momenta vectors. Now, the orbital motion and spin motion of the electron, these are the two motions associated with electron, and they are not independent of each other. In fact, there exists spin-orbit interaction between the two, which we have studied in the last lecture, and that spin-orbit interaction, it is magnetic in nature. So we know that the electron, it is orbiting around the nucleus. So when we say that electron, it is orbiting around the nucleus, this electron moving around the nucleus, it is very similar to current carrying loop. And we know that in a current carrying loop, when a charge, it is moving in a circular path, it generates magnetic field. That is what happens here. The electron, when it is orbiting around the nucleus, that means because of the orbital motion of the electron, there is a magnetic field which is generated. And this magnetic field of the electron, which is generated because of its orbital motion, it acts as an external field for the spinning electron. अंडरस्टूड. एक ऑर्बिटल इलेक्ट्रॉन ऑर्बिट में घूम रहा है, सो उसकी वजह से एक मैग्नेटिक फील्ड जनरेट होता है और यही मैग्नेटिक फील्ड एक्ट करता है एज एन एक्सटर्नल मैग्नेटिक फील्ड फॉर स्पिनिंग इलेक्ट्रॉन. नाउ इन दिस फील्ड द स्पिनिंग इलेक्ट्रॉन like a small magnetic top undergoes a Larmor precession. If you take the example of top, just imagine a top which is moving. So that is a precessional motion. When we say that top, it is moving, it is precessional motion of the top. So it's very similar to that. The spinning electron also has the precessional motion, or it is called as Larmor precession, and starts precessing about the field direction with constant inclination. Now we know that this external magnetic field, orbital magnetic, because of the orbital motion which is generated, BL, that is parallel to angular momentum vector L, and vector S precesses about vector L. So suppose I try to understand the same situation but in a different way. So now what we were considering, that there is, because of the orbital motion of the electron, there is a magnetic field which is generated. It is acting as an external field for the vector S. Now assume that there is a field which is produced because of the spin motion. I'm taking the reverse case. So there is a field which is produced by the spin motion of the electron and the electron orbiting in that particular field. So now what will happen? Vector L precesses about vector S. In earlier case, vector S was precessing about vector L. Now vector L precesses about vector S. Now the total angular momentum of a system in a force field is conserved, and Coulomb's force is indeed a central force. Hence, if no external force acts on the electron, its total angular momentum vector J will be constant in direction as well as magnitude. So in both the cases, we are getting J as a constant. So what is the situation is like, vector L precesses about vector S, vector S precesses about vector L, and yet their resultant J is fixed. It is not changing, and this is possible only if both vector L and vector S, they are precessing about vector J with their inclination to vector J remaining constant. We have considered two situations. In first situation, we got vector S precesses about L. In second situation, we got vector L precesses about S. In both the cases, J is constant. So this is possible if and only if L and S, they are precessing about vector J with same inclination or constant inclination. And stronger the interaction, faster the precession. So if you want to see the vector diagram for this, how it is, here you can see this is the total angular momentum vector J. So vector L, it is precessing about total angular momentum L. Vector S, it is precessing about total angular momentum vector S. So this is called as vector diagram for the total angular momentum, which is the sum of orbital angular momentum and spin angular momentum. So this is all about one electron system and vector atom model. In the next lecture, we will discuss about two electron system and vector atom model. Thank you. Thank you so much.